What if I told you that the difference between struggling and thriving isn't talent, luck, or even hard work? It's something far simpler, and today you're going to learn exactly how to harness it. I see so many business owners spinning their wheels. They have great ideas, but they never seem to gain any traction. They work harder and harder, but their businesses feel like hamster wheels. Lots of motion, zero forward movement. The solution? Consistency. Not the boring, robotic kind of consistency. I'm talking about strategic, intentional consistency. This isn't about perfection. It's about creating a framework that allows you to move forward even when motivation feels impossible. It's about building systems that work for you, not against you. In this episode, I'm going to break down exactly how to create that consistency, the kind that separates successful businesses from the ones that never quite take off. You're listening to the Productive Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Kendrick, and I'm on a mission to help online business owners like you focus on the right things and take imperfect action. Every week, you'll get my best tips on everything from time management and content creation to planning effectively and managing mindset issues, all in an effort to help you become more productive. So let's jump into this episode. Let me share a quote from John Maxwell, one of my absolute favorite business authors. He says, "Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. That's the law of consistency. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how many opportunities you receive. If you want to grow, consistency is key." Let that sink in for a minute. So what does it mean to be consistent? The dictionary defines it as always acting or behaving in the same way. It seems like a pretty basic idea, right? But many companies, especially solopreneur businesses, operate chaotically. They don't have a real plan or roadmap for success. They don't act or behave the same way. Instead, their day-to-day activities revolve around putting out fires and just trying to keep up. Consistency is about creating a predictable, reliable framework that allows your business to grow, your customers to trust you, and most importantly, allows you to feel in control. Picture this. You're a customer looking for a service. Would you rather work with a business that's all over the place, changing its messaging, its approach, its entire brand identity every other week? Or would you prefer a business that shows up the same way, delivers the same quality, and makes you feel secure in your decision? Let me give you an example of what not to do. A while back, I was following a particular online business. I'm not going to share the name. At first, I was really impressed with the owner. Good ideas, great content. But then they changed their brand name 3 or 4 times in just 5 years, so almost once a year. And with the brand changes came new web addresses, new course platforms, new email addresses. I had actually purchased some of their courses in the early days, but it got to the point that I couldn't even figure out how to access my purchases. Talk about a trust destroyer. This is exactly what you want to avoid in your own business. So let's break down why consistency matters. When you're consistent, you create a sense of stability for yourself, your team, and your customers. Consistency gives you focus. It ensures that every single action is aligned with your core business goals. Consistent messaging and branding help you establish that magical know, like, trust factor. And when you do things consistently, you can actually measure what's working and what isn't. All right, let's dig into some strategies that will help you be more consistent. I'm going to give you a framework that you can implement starting today. Strategy number 1, crystallize your vision. Here's the truth. You can't be consistent if you don't know where you're going. That's what vision is all about. Close your eyes. Imagine your business 1 year from now. I want you to drill down into the details that light you up. What does success look like, feel like, sound like? We're talking about a full sensory vision that gets your entrepreneurial heart racing. Are you working with dream clients who absolutely light you up? Have you streamlined your systems so efficiently that you're working less but making more? Are you speaking on stages, launching that program you've been dreaming about, or creating a brand that has people talking? And here's a pro tip. Your vision isn't about numbers. It's an experience. Don't just think, I want to increase revenue. Think about the impact. By this time next year, I'll be running a business that allows me to take quarterly adventure trips, serve clients who are absolute rock stars in their field, and have a team that's as passionate about our mission as I am. Your vision is your destination. It's where you're heading. So get specific, get bold, get fired up. And by the way, episode 37 is dedicated to crafting a vision statement. I'll drop a link to it in the show notes. Strategy 2, embrace the magic of the 90-day plan. Listen up, because this is my not-so-secret weapon. I talk about it all the time. I'm not talking about those massive, overwhelming yearly plans. I'm talking about focused 90-day action plans, the tool I've been using for over 2 decades to transform business chaos into consistent success. Why 90 days? Because it's the sweet spot. It's short enough to keep you laser-focused, but long enough to make meaningful progress. Think of it like interval training for your business. Intense, purposeful, and incredibly effective. But here's the big insight, and I dive deep into this in episode 25, which I'll link in the show notes. Don't try to tackle everything at once. Your job is to identify the 3 business objectives that will create the most significant momentum. This isn't about what you could do. This is about what will dramatically move your business forward. Maybe it's launching that program you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's signing 3 high-ticket clients. Whatever it is, focus on that. Really limit yourself to 3 main business objectives. When you try to do everything, you end up accomplishing nothing. But when you focus, magic happens. Strategy 3, set up your systems. Here's where so many small business owners drop the ball. Systems aren't sexy, but they're absolutely crucial for consistency. Back in the early days of my business, I didn't have systems yet because the business was new, and things were definitely chaotic and swirly. But when I started getting my systems in place, things calmed down. I was able to perform tasks consistently, the same way every time, and that meant I got faster and better. So here are some action steps for creating business systems. 1, identify your most chaotic business areas. 2, create step-by-step checklists for repetitive tasks. 3, leverage automation tools as much as possible. And 4, review and refine your systems quarterly. And if you need help getting started, I share 10 essential types of business systems in episode 1. I'll drop a link to it in the show notes. Strategy 4, adopt a measurement mindset. Consistency isn't about doing the same thing forever. It's about doing things consistently enough to understand what's working and what isn't. But I see so many businesses that make one of 2 mistakes when it comes to metrics, and they both stem from not knowing what to track. The first group just doesn't track anything. They don't know where to start, so they just push it to the back burner. The second group tracks everything, and then they get lost in a sea of data and they don't know what to do with it. We're not going to do that. We're going to laser focus on just a few key performance indicators, also known as KPIs. I have a few metrics that I track weekly. The first 2 are income and expenses. These should be on your list as well. We're running businesses. income and expenses are metrics that matter for every business. Next, I track membership growth and monthly recurring revenue because I have a membership model. I track email list size and new conversions because my email list is one of my most valuable assets. And I track website traffic and major traffic sources because that's where my leads are coming from. Your KPIs may be different from mine because your business is different. The key is to pick just a few, 5 to 10 metrics that are important to you and stay on top of them. Before we wrap up, I want to address something crucial. Consistency does not mean being boring, never changing or innovating, or doing things that aren't working just because you started them. Consistency means being intentional. It means having a plan and following through, while also being flexible enough to pivot when necessary. I promised you actionable steps that you could implement immediately, so here goes. Number 1, define your 90-day objectives. Define your top 3 objectives for the next 90 days. These are your most critical business-moving initiatives that will create significant momentum. Choose objectives that will meaningfully advance your annual goals. Number 2, the weekly review. Block out 30 minutes once a week for a weekly review. Review what worked, what didn't, and what needs adjustment. This is how you stay consistent and adaptable. Number 3, 1 system per month. Commit to creating or improving 1 business system each month. By the end of the year, you'll have 12 new systems that make your business run like a well-oiled machine. I'm going to leave you with another quote. This one's from Robert Collier. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. That, my friend, is consistency. If you found this episode helpful, do me a favor, subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Until next time, keep taking action and stay consistent. And before you go, if you like what you hear on the Productive Entrepreneur podcast, then come check out the Organized Business Toolbox. It's my monthly membership for solo entrepreneurs who want to feel in control and take imperfect action to move their businesses forward. When you join, you'll get instant access to the Training and Resource Vault, and a new toolbox or course drops every month. Plus, we have monthly Voxer office hours where you can privately ask me questions and get my direct feedback. If that sounds like something you need, the link is in the show notes, or visit TanyaKendrick.com, and I'll see you on the inside.